Okay, now that our web server is configured to accept traffic on port 443, we're going to go ahead and have a look at how this actually works. So the client should be offered to actually sign the certificate. Let's go ahead and type in HTTPS ://admin manage.com. Just go ahead and write www dot. And it's gonna tell me, it's gonna give me the option to sign it. It's not gonna give me the option to sign it. Let me just go ahead and have a look. Yep, add exception. So add except. So you will basically just click on advanced, add exception, confirm security exception, and there you go. You are on the fake website. So it redirects you there, and this is our Kali server running on this domain. So as long as somebody clicks on sign certificate, they're gonna go here, and they have to sign it because they won't really be able to access. I mean, they're gonna have a ridiculous amount of difficulty. They're gonna have problems accessing the site unless they click sign. Most people click on sign. The sign interfaces are sometimes a little bit more complicated, sometimes a little bit simpler. I think that with Internet Explorer, they're the simplest. With Firefox, they've made it a little bit more difficult. Anyway, now that we have HTTPS connection and the client is actually on our fake website, let's go ahead and create that code which will harvest the credentials for us. Now keep in mind, the following code can be inserted pretty much anywhere. So any site that is cloned, you can inject this code, you can write this code manually into the clone site in the right place, and it will harness the credentials for you. Upon harvesting the credentials, it will actually redirect the user to the legitimate website. So I am still on the fake website on Windows, and I need to do a few modifications here. So ls. Okay, so this is from the previous tries. Let me just go ahead and, well, actually, index.html can stay. Let's go ahead and write it. It's not very long. It's a very small injection that you can create and very convenient. Okay, so you will need the entirety of this code that is written out here, like from top to bottom. It needs to be exactly the same. And on any site, you will have some sort of form where users will be able to log in. So you will have some place where you type in the username and the password, adapt accordingly. And in the form where the username and password are inputted, you will need to add this. So action equals harvester.php method post. Now this harvester is just a arbitrary name. I have named it harvester, but you can name it however you want. So this is basically our site, and this is the script which we will be injecting. And now we need to go ahead and write that script. So just rewrite the code, the HTML code that is here. Basically, just assume that all of this is simply a cloned website. And in the form where you have the username and password, you just inject the action equals harvester.php so that this script would be executed upon the user typing in their credentials. Now I need to create the harvester.php. So harvester.php harvester. Let me just go ahead and check it out. Harvest. Oh, right, it's harvest. Control-Shift-C, quit, vim, harvest.php. Okay, so here we need to create our very, very short PHP script. It doesn't need to be complicated, but the fact that it's not complicated doesn't mean that it's not powerful and that it does not perform, that it will not do what we want it to do. So this is not a tutorial on PHP, but I'm just going to give you a brief shock intro. So we're going to go ahead and create a variable data, and into it we will store the username and password in some sort of format. So underline post, and we're going to go ahead and do this username, the username here needs to match the name over there. So the name over there is username, and the name here is also username. In fact, let me go ahead and open up another terminal for you so that you can actually monitor what it is that I'm doing. Okay, so name equals username, and it needs to be username here. So just whichever site is cloned, well, aside from the fact that you need the permission, make sure that you change the script accordingly. So you don't need to change the logic of the script, just certain names within the script if they are different. And we're gonna concatenate that with a dash, so we'll have a format like username and then dash, and then you will have a password. And then let's go ahead and concatenate that with a password. So post password, something this is what set toolkit would do, something similar to this, except it will clone the entire site for you, but I will also show you how you can clone the sites. And we can go ahead and insert a new line here. It doesn't, but if we, let's just insert a new line, doesn't matter. And then we shall, we're gonna go ahead and type in my file. So this shall be equal to, how shall we name this? Credentials.txt. It doesn't need to be called credentials.txt. You can name it pretty much whatever you want. I mean, not a big deal. But we just need the quote marks here for the name of the file. Didn't place that one there. So you can name your file however you want. It doesn't really matter. It can be tralala.txt. I don't think that it even needs to be a txt. And then we need a file handler, which is going to be equal to fopen. And we're going to go ahead and state credentials. Let me just see if I am typing in this right. fh equals fopen, then open these up. Now let's place a comma here, and then a W here. W is for writing to the file. Or if it cannot open the file, just go ahead and die. And then I'm gonna type in can't open file, just a debug thing. I mean, you don't even need to write this, but hey, it's nice to actually have it there. If for some strange reason the file cannot be opened, you can be warned of that. Next up, we're gonna type in write. So we're gonna write to the file, and we're gonna use the file handler for that. Oops, file handler for that, and then we're gonna go ahead and type in data. And then we need to close the file when we're basically done with it. So close fh. Okay, so that should be it, right? Let me just go ahead and check that. Right. It's not supposed to be credentials here. It's supposed to be my file. My apologies. So my file is the variable and credentials is the actual text file. Don't know why I got those two confused there. Okay, so for the time being, I'm not gonna enable the redirect, but redirect is just one very short line of code. However, let's just see how this works for the time being. Let's go ahead and write quit. And we're gonna quit here. So that should be fine. And let's go ahead and reload the site and type in test 1, 2, 3. Submitting can't open file. Okay, so a simple enough error which we're going to solve very shortly. So we need to create the file. So touch credentials.txt. And we need to do chmod And I'm just going to go ahead and type in 666 credentials and do LSL. Read write for everyone. So 666 is read and write privileges for everybody. All around writing privileges. Okay, let me just go back and submit now. Okay, it does nothing happens there, which is what we wanted. So just cat credentials, and there you go. So you have test, and then you have test123, which is the password. So very, very, very simple. Now, if you wanted to create a redirect, I'm running a little bit short in terms of time, so we're gonna just go ahead and do that in the follow-up tutorial. It's gonna be very short and simple.